Right.
Okay, I want to kind of slide into communications here because if we look at all the things you named there are so many pieces that have to do with your social balance, your social lives, the major changes in someone's life, traditions that you may have. How do you deal with conflict? Man, philosophy, your belief about God, and some people they go to church, but they don't have that what you're talking about, that personal relationship. So communicating prior to marriage, how did you and what's your wife's name? I don't
Mia.
Mia, okay. I think I heard you say Mia, I'm right there. How do you and Mia get to the point that your communications was clear enough that you knew exactly, yeah, I'm hearing the heart of Mia and I can give her my heart.
Man, she is so good at. Okay, so she's an HR manager for Bank of America.
Okay.
So she had her day-to-day job. She has to deal with HR situations in the bank. Now the bank is huge. Bank of America is huge, and so she has to deal with people that are upset all day long, and she has to maintain a degree of professionalism. So she's calm by nature.
Okay, so you talk to people that have money issues.
Well, no. These are employees of the bank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
HR.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she may have to fire folks.
Okay.
And, so imagine having those conversations. So she has to be able to maintain her composure on the conversation. When I can hear, sometimes I can walk by, I can hear other person be loud on the other end of the phone.
Okay.
And she's just calm, go on with her business, and she can keep moving. But she's just calm by nature.
Okay. And that communication piece, you saw she can do the same with you.
Oh man, yeah. So she's fantastic. She is she's very thoughtful. Like, so when she speaks, you know she started out very well. She's already thought through what she said, and so I could take it for I can take that as law when she says it, because I know she let the wheels spin and she says, and because she doesn't talk a whole lot. She says what needs to be said.
Well, I'm looking forward to the day that we have both of you on here and just talk about relationships, because again, my wife and I have always made up our minds that divorce is not an option for us.
Right.
And we had to talk through some things. Matter of fact, I remember one time we stayed up all night long because we're not going to let the sun go down on any raft.
Right.
So not all night. I get sleepy. So I said, look, let's end this or whatever. But the point is communicating to make sure that we're going to solve this issue,
right,
and not give in.
Right.
And I think a key thing that you've said so far in both sessions is your relationship with God. Because if you say you got married and your partner was not saved, maybe neither one of you were at first,
right,
and then one became saved, and the other one did not, and they don't understand the spiritual. Why are you getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Do what?
Right.
What? So that's what I'm hearing. That she has a relationship, you have a relationship, and so therefore, Holy Spirit speaks to both of you, and He'll tell you, okay, you've said enough. He'll tell her, you've said enough. He got it. She has it. So that's the key in communications. Both of you need to be equal and close to God, because you know that we are 3-part being, and the Spirit was the first one, and that's the most honest one of all. So that's a beautiful relationship when both of you have it, and it's synonymous.
It's honestly, I didn't think, like I said earlier, I didn't think I was going to get married, but I'm at such a place of peace, and I enjoy my relationship so much. Like, I'm surprised some days at how much I enjoy. Like, I guess I've never had this level of enjoyment or excitement. I'm not sure what the words are in a relationship, and it seems to get better as we go. And by the way, she's just an amazing woman. So,
well, you are a licensed financial advisor. Your wife handles HR issues. So how do you guys communicate disagreement? How do you say, or do you have them?
We have hardly had a disagreement, never had an argument.
Okay.
Never raise our voices at each other.
Okay. Okay.
We are in sync a lot, so that helps. And I know her, she knows me, so we know how to work with each other, and so it's we can talk all day or not say a word, and we're good in both scenarios.
So are either one extrovert, introvert? I mean, how does that work?
I am a people person.
Okay.
Yeah, if I go out, because that's how I make my living.
Okay. Talking to people.
Yeah, first of all, I got to be able to get to people and find out specific information, not just have a conversation.
Right.
So I'm always talking to people. She not so much. She's a little bit more quiet, more reserved than me.
Okay. I need Mia here so I can answer some other questions too. I want to pick her brain because being a female in that role and having to be home too, it may mean something that women who usually handle other things as well as being professionals on a job. It takes a lot. I know my wife, we've been pastoring for 47 years. So she's had to be dual and a lot of things that just don't sink at the home, does it, on the job. So when you come home, you don't want to bring the church in the house, that sort of thing. So, but we'll get with Mia one day and bring her on board as well. But I'm enjoying this, and my wife made a good point about personal relationship. And you made that statement earlier about digging deep inside of oneself to make sure that I'm ready for this and know what's wrong. Because here's something I want to bring up too in communicating. What we agreed to was that you are my best friend, so ask me the hard questions, and I need to answer them. If I refuse to answer them, something is wrong. Right? Because we agreed on that. That's what we're going to do. And our home will always be a safe place.
I call it check-ins.
Okay, that's good.
So maybe it's not even a time to sit down for a long period, but say, hey, where are we? Are we good? Are there things we need to talk about? Maybe that's not the moment to talk about it, but at least you put it on the table. Say, hey, okay, good. Look, we're gonna go to dinner, or we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about whatever that item is. Because I want you gotta be good. I want you to be good. And if you got something that's a burden to you, it's a burden to me.
Yeah.
And we're not good if you're not good.
But that's something I want to get into that too. But also, like you mentioned earlier, self-help, self-love, and then but segueing into that now, how did you start to look and say, I need to love Robert. I need to make sure Robert loves Robert before Robert can love Mia or anybody else. When did that happen?
During that time, the Holy Spirit was sitting on me. The Holy Spirit was just putting little things in my ear, and one of them was, and I practice this now. I get up and go look in the mirror and I say, I love you.
Boom. Yeah.
And that may sound strange to folks, but how often do you tell yourself you love you? Oh, you said it. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it happened during that time. So all this started coming together at one time, but just loving yourself, setting boundaries. That's a whole nother show. But yeah, just setting boundaries for people so that you have space for you and your place and space and healing, and you have the same for your spouse, and you don't let folks get in that. And so part of my self-care is getting up at 4 a.m. Now my wife used to think I was crazy, but I figured I carve out a space for me to have quiet time.
Okay.
Because I'm here at 7:30. My day's on after that, and I'm gonna hit the gym. I may not get home at 7. So that's a busy day. I didn't have time for me. Right. When I get home, I'm tired because I've been up all day. So I need that time in the morning. To get up, connect, and pray, and it could be any number of things that go on, but it's my time and my space to get me right.
I thought you had a question there. But I'm going to still deal with that self-care. I'm a fan and a fanatic of getting up, working out, that sort of thing. I always have been. And I love it because I know when I get my day started with prayer with God and my relationship with Him, and then my body, I'm good for people. I'm better for the people I'm going to be dealing with. Right. So when I don't feel good about me or my physical, then I'm not going to be make it through that day. Right. And at my age now, I really got to be aware of that.
What time do you go to the gym in the morning?
Yeah, in the morning. Yeah, we go. I used to go real early in the morning, but I'm retired now from the other job, so
Right.
I'll get there 7:30. If I go with her, it'll be 8:30, quarter to 9, something like that. But yeah, and we spend that time in there working out, getting in the best shape we can, and like you said, meeting with people
Right.
as well.
I think you've got to figure out things that help you tap into what God gave you.
Uh-huh.
Like my wife will go, she'll get in the yard, she'll garden.
Okay.
I mean, she has her ways of connecting. I have mine, and I think every individual has to figure out ways and time to connect and carve some space out for you with God, because the day will will eat up all of your time. Trust me. How many times have you meant to text somebody back? Like, man, he texted me 3 days ago,
Boom.
and I got sidetracked. And
That part.
so if you don't consciously make time for self-care, then you're gonna get burnt out, upset, and that's gonna have an effect on your relationship.